Living life is gangster. Hey, hey. 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 Love yourself first, explicitly. You owe it to yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dreams. Living life is gangster. Hey, hey. Living life is gangster. Hey, hey. Living life is gangster. Hey, hey. Living life is gangster. Hey, hey.
Hey y'all, happy Tuesday with the hallway. How is everybody doing? Thank you so much for being here. And if you are new to the show, I'm your girl, Stay Hall, and this is my awesome husband, Dr. Wallace Hall, and together we are the hallway. And we love to just take a deep dive into all things relationship and marriage. And we definitely do not eliminate the singles because we truly believe in preparing for marriage before you're actually in a marriage. And so many people just kind of wing it, and not just marriage, just relationships in general. Like there is nothing wrong with, and we actually recommend doing the work ahead of time. And, you know, some people are like, what do you mean hey, sweet thumb, how are you? People are like, what do you mean do the work ahead of time? But what I mean by that is becoming the best version of yourself and learning yourself, your likes, your dislikes, creating your boundaries and all of that before you enter into a relationship so that you are fully prepared and you're not coming in with a lot of baggage, a lot of insecurities, and just things that could cause extra added difficulties. Because relationships, I don't want to say they're hard, but they take work. And so you just want to come in as the best version of yourself. Look,
but even you shouldn't stop there, you know, because a lot of times when you go into a relationship, it's like some baggage that hadn't been discovered yet. So it's good to meet before, you know, and even during, continue to meet and try and figure those things out to see ways that you can help yourself get better and become the best version of you for the one that you love. And hopefully they're working on the same thing to be the best version of themselves. So we can all put together, and all we want everybody just be happy and in love and just having fun and, you know, out meeting people and, you know, being the best you can be and being productive citizens in society.
Productive citizens. Yes, we do want you to be productive citizens. And the thing is, and also think about the people who are watching you and the people who are coming after you, because that's something that we have seen a lot. And I think I mentioned this in a couple of lives ago. If anyone watches what is it called? Love is Blind, where the one guy went all the way to the altar, but the whole time, all he kept saying was he didn't know if he was ready for marriage because his parents didn't have a successful marriage and he didn't know what a successful marriage looked like. And he wasn't sure if he would be able to have a successful marriage. And we just have to realize that when we are doing things, there's always somebody who's watching us, and not necessarily that we have to be perfect or get it right all the time, but we do want to put our best effort and be intentional about doing as good a job as we can, because there are people who are watching us and we want to set the best possible example. And I know that might be a lot of pressure, but we're all somebody's role model. We're all somebody's mentor, whether we know it or not. And so that's why I try my best to operate in excellence in every aspect of my life. But I also am transparent and let people know that, you know, mistakes can be made, but you don't want to make mistakes that could have been avoided if you just would have been willing to do the work. So,
right. Because one of the biggest things is kind of like what she said, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching you. You know, you find out some weird times when people come up and talk to you and say, hey, I noticed such and such, or I noticed this and that. So it's why you should always try to handle your situation the best way you can and the best time that you can. You having fun here?
I'm trying to figure. I done spelled my name wrong. I don't know. Stay in. I don't know. I spelled my name
Stain and Wallace.
Trying to hey she. Yeah, I don't know who Stayin is. But anyway, so today's topic, with all that being said, is friendship boundaries and navigating opposite sex friendships in the relationship. And we kind of want to address two subtopics within this, where we're going to talk about, first of all, can men and women truly just be friends? Platonic friends with nothing physical, nothing sexual, nothing romantic, just friends, just homies. Is that even possible? And then we'll take a dive into, as a married couple, as a seriously committed couple, as life partners, whatever it is that you call it, if you are in a monogamous relationship with somebody, is it okay for you all to have friends of the opposite sex? So those are the two things that we're going to talk about. And so the first part is, do we think that men and women can truly just be friends? And so I want to hear from y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if you think men and women can truly just be friends, and with no shenanigans, no hanky panky, and not even saying it has to be a full on relationship, but no friends with benefits.
What is it? Platonic? Just a straight
platonic
relationship?
Just a platonic relationship. Do you think that's possible? Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's possible. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's impossible, like something's on my face, where you just feel like inevitable that something is going to happen, whether it's a kiss, whether it's sleeping together, whatever. You just think that something will eventually happen. So 1 in the chat if you think they can just be friends. 2 if you think they can't. Let's see. So she said 1, you think they can. And this is whether you're, single or married, whatever, just men and women. What are you laughing at? Me, of course.
Well, no, because men and women have different views on this a lot of times. That's why when she put up a 1, I already kind of knew what he was going to go with. So
you feel like men are usually going to say 1, and she the only one who even want to weigh in, take some work on both sides. See, that's what I mean. Why does it take work though?
It do.
It do.
It do. It do what it do.
Sheed is the only one who weighed in, and we got. So
Sheed is right.
Sheed is right. And I kind of get that it takes work on both sides, but I believe that it's possible because I did it for years and years. There was a point in my life where I had more male friends than I had female friends. I hung out with more guys than I hung out with ladies. Hey, Jamie, how are you? But some people feel it. But my thing is, it didn't really take a lot of work, I don't think, on both of our sides. Like, my friends were my friends, and it was the way we started the relationship. A lot of my guy friends were in relationships, throughout our friendship, but I never felt anything different towards them. Like, it wasn't awkward, and people would say certain things sometimes, like, I know y'all messing around and this and that. And it's like, no, we're not. And I think for me, it was easy because I never had a brother. I don't have a brother, and I always wanted to have a brother. And so it was just easy for me to have these guys as my friends and just look at them as brothers, because that's something I didn't have in my life, and just kind of like male role models, because most of the guys that I was friends with were older than me, and a couple my same age, but most of them older than me. And it was just cool to have that male perspective and things like that. And I was really awkward and shy about dating and romantic relationships anyway, which is probably what made it easier. And then I would like to talk to them about it, because I always was just like skeptical of guys and dating. And so, having these guys to just watch and see how they move and like, see, that's just why I ain't trying to do that. Or have these guys where I could ask the questions, because again, I didn't have a brother, and I didn't have that type of relationship with my dad where I felt comfortable asking those kind of questions. So for me, it was easy to have male friends when I was single, for sure. Because I'm going to stick with the single part, because we'll talk about the marriage later and being in a relationship. But for me, it was easy, and it wasn't a struggle. And, there were a couple of guys that I had been friends with and ended up finding out that they liked me and they had ulterior motives. But those guy friends didn't really last, because like, oh, okay, you was just really trying to holler at me. But my guy friends who lasted for years and some decades, yeah, it didn't take a lot of work on both our parts. I don't think we were fine. We wasn't fighting back the urge. We was good. What you think, babe?
It's possible. It's definitely possible. Like kind of like what she was kind of talking about. It does take work. you know, just a
It
mindset.
takes work. What is the work that it takes?
The work that it takes is boundaries within your mind and yourself. It takes work on yourself that, you know, we're not going to try to do. We're just going to be friends, you know, just straight up friends and go from there. You know, I've had several female friends through the years that's strictly just friends. That's all it was. You know, people you enjoy talking to and just kind of going from there. So really wasn't that big a deal. You know, people that say, oh, I know you're doing this, or I know you're out there like this. And no, we're just having friends. You know, we're just friends.
We're just having friends. So
yeah, we're just having friends.
Just having fun.
We're just having fun, you know, just enjoying each other's company and looking out for each other and things like that. And, you know, they'd ask me about dating advice or different advice on guys and things like that. But yeah, that's all it was. It was kind of easy to do, you know, just depending on how you put your mindset at. You know, I do know some guys that's not possible because some of them are just, especially if they're single, they're just out there just, it's like fishing, just throwing your hook out in the water and just seeing every chance you get, you know, you're looking for that weak moment, just throwing your hook out there and see.
And is that what you were doing?
But when we were,
I'm not talking about us. Yeah, see, calm down. I'm not trying to catch you in nothing, babe. Calm down. It's okay.
What are you talking about?
Hey, Miss Christine, thank you for listening. No, I'm saying when you were single and you had the female friends, were you?
No, some of them I just be friends with. Some of them I were, and
some of them you did have ulterior motives.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie about that. But yeah, it's some, like I said, I was strictly just friends or whatnot, and they didn't want to go any further. And some you're like, you know, well, maybe let me, you know, it's like I said, you get off a vibe, you know, you start talking about certain attractions and things like that. If you're attracted to someone, you feel a certain way about somebody.
But here's my question, like what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did you befriend some women with every intention on trying to take it to a different level, or were you friends and then it was like, oh, I think I might dig you?
It's more or less friends first. It was never, oh, I'm gonna be friends with her because I want to be there just in case her boyfriend do piss her off. I can be here and be that soft shoulder for the crown. No,
you said that's so smooth, like that. What
I know that's what you're getting at. I know that's what you're getting at.
I'm just asking. She said facts, and some say yes, some say no.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
But no, I never went into it and say, hey, my plan is to become a friend, to infiltrate her defenses and get it. No, that was never the plan. The plan was like, say, you know, friends, you start out just as friends is what you are. And,
okay, so here's my next question.
But there's got to be an attraction that move any further than that. You know,
hey, Miss Kirkland. Okay, so here's my next question. So if you are just friends with someone and say, like back then when you were single or whatever, and you were friends with a young lady or woman, whatever, who had a boyfriend, but y'all were just friends. Mm-hmm. When there were issues with the relationship with the boyfriend, or when her and the boyfriend broke up, did you figure this was your opportunity to?
He can't love you like, no, I didn't. No, that's not what I did. I would just try to be that friend, you know, it's just something like that. But you know, you just try to.
I don't know what this means.
Try to be cool. That's all I know. I don't know. You just try to be friends. You try to be that.
I mean, hey, you knew what the topic was today. You should have been prepared. You know I'm gonna come asking the questions. So this is the thing with us too.
This is all
to let y'all know. This is the thing. We do come up with our topics together. And a lot of this stuff we've talked about, you know, over years or whatever, but we never do like a pre-show, like meetup, like, what are you going to say? What am I going to say? What you going to ask? Whatever. The only thing that we'll do say is just like, okay, is there anything that you definitely want to make sure we mention tonight? Or is there anything that's like kind of off the table to talk about? And normally the answer to both is no, we good, because we're pretty much open book.
Yeah, I never take anything off the table. That's on her.
But we don't like have a discussion. So when I'm hitting him with these questions and vice versa, it's like, yeah, you didn't know what to expect.
But no, you just want to be a friend. Like they having issues or things like that. You don't want, you know, I'm not coming in and saying, oh, you know, like I just said. Here. Yeah, I'm the one for, you know, he can't do. No, just say, hey, you know, what's going on? You know, maybe he didn't mean it like that. You know, just try to.
Oh, so you would defend the guy if you?
No, I would just try to play. You know, try to be the voice of reason, or the one straight down the middle. Try to shoot stuff straight down the middle. So. You know,
okay, but has it ever turned into something else? Have you ever been friends with that girl and then she's having relationship problems and then just somehow y'all end up taking it to another level? Has that ever happened?
No. They were just friends. You know, it's just all it was, just friends.
Oh my gosh. What do y'all feel? I feel like there's some deception going on. My husband has an ulterior motive. Yeah. I'm telling you
Yeah,
that.
it was, just friends. You just try to be that soft shoulder to lean on. That's just all I can tell you. You just want to motives. That's funny. You just want to be, you said that soft shoulder to lean. I don't know why I keep being
Right, because y'all hear how he keeps saying that soft shoulder to lean on, because I do feel like that was his MO back in the day. Wallace is that guy who is very easy to talk to. He is that guy who is very, non-threatening. He is not, I know I love that but I love that. He is not that aggressive guy coming on too strong. He's not that Mac Daddy type. So I just feel as though, my experience with him aside, because y'all know we were friends first, but I just feel like that was always Wallace's MO, like the big brother, the whatever, with, I'm just going to be waiting here in the bushes until your stuff mess up. My husband and I were friends for 3 years and ended up married for 23 years. Wow, that's awesome. And I love the friendship aspect of it first. Hey, Chris, how are you? I love the fact of the friendship aspect. I say all the time, I think that is so important. It's just that, is it okay or is it deceitful when people are building the friendship
some people
based
just want to be
on the fact that they want to
some people want to be super friends. They don't just want to be regular friends. They want to be super
what
friends.
are super friends? Can you explain? Wallace will come up with some stuff too, because he'll have to explain to you. I don't know if we've ever talked about the phase out, but Wallace has some little dating techniques. So can you explain to the people, what are super friends? And are super friends only with male and female relationships?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what is a super friend?
Super friends is just the ones where you talk to a little bit more than others. Someone can, call you, for certain times when they're going through certain things. Those are super friends. Other friends are friends you kind of just talk to casually. They're going through stuff. You don't really get too invested in them. Super friends, you get invested in every situation.
So does what determines whether or not somebody is a super friend, does it have anything to do with how attracted you are to that person?
50-50, I guess.
Did you have any female friends that you weren't attracted to?
Oh, yeah. I had several female friends I wasn't attracted to. Yes.
Okay. I'm just asking because one thing and we're going to get to that. One thing that you and she both said and agreed on was the fact that it takes a lot of work on both parts. And with me and my male friends, I don't feel like it took a lot of work on both of our parts. Like I said, there were a couple that I ran across in my lifetime where I realized that early on that they had ulterior motives because they only were friends for like a week until they start saying mess. And it's like, okay, but my friends.
I'm that friend that's here for the long haul. I'm not going anywhere.
Now you sound creepy. But my friends that lasted, there was never they were never inappropriate towards me. Like even or I shouldn't say inappropriate because I guess it's not inappropriate.
Real men, real gentlemen, not going to be inappropriate. I was going to be respectful. I was going to say the things that need to be said. Going to be the ones that just give you that kind word when you need it, that little extra motivation. That's that's real men. That's what we do.
Right, but I guess what I'm saying, and I shouldn't have even said inappropriate.
Now, creeps are going to be inappropriate.
She. Let's see. Coming to the stage. What's up, she?
What's going on? I'm always working. But I just want to be real quick to clarify something. So when I say it takes work, because most of the time, women, y'all can be friends, no strings attached. But us as men, you treat us like boyfriends, but we're friends. Oh, can you pick up the tab? Can you open the door for me? I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff. I might as well make you my girl. Hey, can you pick me up this time? How do I look? You know how many times a good man has to say, you okay? And you be like, no, check out this and turn it around. How does this dress make my, oh man. Like, we friends. I don't need to be going through all this. You good. Stop giving me vision. That's why I say it take work, because for as the women, if they don't have no interest in you, they're gonna be like, but then the man, he's like, I don't got no interest, but then you pique his interest by the way you start doing things. That's why I say the work comes into play, because you have to say, well, I'm just gonna either step away from this friend and have to tell them, stop coming at me a certain way because you're making me uncomfortable. So
Right.
I'm gonna
And
let y'all go ahead. I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back in the cloud, but I'll
I
be back up.
appreciate you, Sheed. I
well,
appreciate
thank
you,
you for
bro.
Yeah,
stopping
we
up.
gotta clarify this because I don't want this to be just because it take work. Like we just all want all the women beating on our chest. But it's
See, that's
just,
what she's trying
like
to
I
get
said.
at. She's trying to pin me in a corner about that.
Yeah, I seen that. That's why I had to come up and give you some of that power. No, I'll let you out.
All right. Thank
I
you.
appreciate you,
Thank
bro. Have a good
you.
one, man.
See, and here's my thing. And if anybody else has something to say, y'all know y'all are always welcome to link to the chat or whatever. I mean, the link to the
what are y'all
live
feeling?
is
How
up
y'all
there.
feel about it? Yeah.
But I do get that too. And I did have one great friend, one of my best friends in high school, that I kind of got caught up in that accidentally. And so I want to speak on the women's behalf. We don't do it intentionally. Like when we have male friends, a lot of us, we really appreciate that male input. We appreciate having that male in our lives, especially those of us who don't have brothers or didn't have those type of relationships with our dads or whatever. It's like just having that male attention, even though you don't want it in a certain way, it's still just something about that male attention. And I did have one of my best friends in high school where I realized I had crossed the line, and I ended up going from a friend to where I saw I was actually leading him on unintentionally, but he was so reliable, so dependable, so supportive. And I didn't have a boyfriend. Well, that wasn't where we were, and that wasn't my intention. But I realized because of how men perceive things, I'm like, dang, I did do that.
But if he was checking off all the boxes, though.
Yeah, but for me, he was in that friend zone, and that's just where he was.
See, that's what happens a lot of times with women. You know, guys don't really do this, but women do this a lot. I know he likes me, so I can get this, get this, and do that, and I can say this, and he's going to do this. He's going to come and kind of like what she was, he's going to be able to pick me up at this time. He's going to be able to come fix my car. He's going to be able to do this and do that, fix my dryer. He's going to be able to do all this different stuff for me. And yet, oh no, we just friends. We're like, dude, why am I doing all this stuff then?
Right. And I mean, but like I said, I mean, there may be some women who do that intentionally, but I think a lot of women do it unintentionally, especially, like I said, when you don't have that male role model and you don't have somebody in your life. There's just certain things that a guy
that goes along that whole deal
is good for.
Good guys finish last, and that's kind of like what happened. A lot of good guys get manipulated upon, in those situations.
I was not manipulating upon nobody. That was not my intention at all. I was just really
manipulated upon. Is that
what you said? Manipulated upon.
I didn't mean to say it like that.
I was not trying to manipulate anybody. I wasn't trying to lead anybody on, but it was brought to my attention. And when it was brought to my attention, I changed my behavior. I did, because I was just comfortable. I felt secure. And, it just was not my intention at all. But when it was brought to my attention, I did change my behavior because I knew that it wasn't
fair. How was it brought to your attention?
It was by another friend who just noticed and was like, you know what, you're chartering in some dangerous territory, because I see how his side of the relationship seems to be changing, because we were like mutual friends. And it's like, yeah, the things that he's saying about you now are not the same as he used to say about you before. Mm-hmm. And there's just certain things that seem different. But I also noticed that you're letting him do this, this, and this, and then you're having him do this, and it's like, for a guy, and I was young, it's just like, but for a guy, that's like saying, things are changing. And really, it was almost like that work husband type of thing. But, it wasn't work, but it's like, yeah, we can go out to eat. We can do this and that. But yeah,
you got him coming over, cutting the grass, painting the house, moving furniture around, building stuff for the kids, or, building furniture and stuff like that. Then yeah, that's
but like I said, because you
pretty much, he's not a handyman, so he's not getting paid. So he's expecting, all this money I'm putting into this bank here, eventually I'm gonna need to make a withdrawal, something like
right. That. And so that's what I'm saying, when it's like, can men and women really be friends?
Yeah, that's what
you can, but you have to have, I think, more boundaries than when you have a friend of the same sex. Because like my friend Adrian, no matter how much she would do for me, or no matter how much I would ask her to do, no matter how much we support each other, she ain't gonna expect me to put out one day. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of thing.
Well, if
You know what I'm saying? I
People
think
like who they like, so you know.
but
it's
you know what
possible.
I'm saying. But that's not our relationship, and so that's what I mean.
Right, no.
I think it might be difficult because I didn't lean on him any different than I would lean on my female friends. But it was just the fact that because he was a man, there were other things that he could provide for me. Whereas if I did have a brother or something,
Like
I wouldn't have
safety, security.
Well, no, safety,
Stability.
security are things. But what I'm saying is having that man's outlook. And then even though I was a very independent woman, there's still certain things that you do because you have to. But if you don't have to, you'd rather a man do it. So if it is changing the oil, changing my tires, taking the trash out, like I can do those things. But if there's a guy around, it's just like, dude.
And we just friends?
Right.
Huh.
And I'm not saying that that's right, but I think that's where the lines get blurred because I'm just saying, you know, I could do it, but you a guy here. So why am I going to take my trash out and you sitting over here at the house chilling and we hanging out? Where I wouldn't ask Adrian to take the trash out, but I might ask Mike to take the trash out.
But I'm already there hanging out.
Right.
And I just give him take the trash out.
She said, check the box without the box.
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing is, for women, I think that once we friend zone a guy, that's just kind of where they stay. Where guys don't have a problem coming out of the friend zone and moving into something else. But for me, when I had a guy friend that was just my friend, again, it was more like a brother to me. I'm not going to look at you any differently.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, though, you were walking down that line of, hey, you know, this is not just doing this out of kindness of my heart. It's more or less I'm doing this because I like you, because you're giving me some type of attention, because a guy not just gonna hang around the house or.
Well, I think what happened with us
doing different stuff.
We were friends from middle school all the way through to adulthood. And I think things changed once we became adults. It seemed a little different. And then when I did.
Had he been taking the trash out all this time?
Yeah, we were always
from middle school. He been doing all this stuff.
Well, he was always there for me. He always did a lot of stuff. But what
you're in a committed relationship, and
but we had different relationships. We had different relationships, but then our relationship, we did decide to kind of give it a try, and it didn't work. And
Who's this brother? I'm gonna call him up and tell him.
You know who it is. You know exactly who I'm talking about. But we did try the relationship, and it did.
Always is middle school.
Yeah, we were friends. We became friends in 7th grade, and I hate it because anybody who's watching who knows me knows exactly who I'm talking about. But
side friend.
But we had other relationships. I had my first son, just different stuff, but we were always friends. And like I said, when we got to be adults and it was kind of like we were both single, we did entertain that for a minute, but it messed up our whole friendship because it was a different relationship. And so I do think that some people are meant to be friends and some people are meant to be.
He didn't feel that way.
But so then why did
so when did he ever make his feelings known to you?
Well, I told you we tried the little relationship for a minute once we were adults. It was like, okay, I was just like, why not? Like, I'm in this place. I'm not with anybody. I trust you. I've known you just about all my life. And then everything went downhill. So I don't think just because you are great friends, like I do think that being friends is important in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Like the way we started our relationship and how Jamia was talking about hers. But I don't think that everybody that you're great friends with means that you could still work in a relationship.
That's true. That is true.
So, yeah. What?
I just feel for old boy.
Wow, that was many moons ago. Everybody has moved on. I am 52 now.
Has he moved on?
Yes, he has moved on. This was like back when, like the last time we had any type of relationship at all that was consistent was like I was 21. Sound like marriage without the ring. Oh my gosh. No, it's not. But like I said, I just think for women, we, like the fact of having a guy around with no strings attached.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this then, and I'll ask the other ladies as part of the show tonight. Do you like having that power over men like that you can just certain times get men to just do what you want them to do, and when men think, hey, I just dangling this carrot out here, and men are like, hey,
I'm
just curious. Hey, you put something out there, CC.
CC, how are you? I do not feel like I ever had any power over men. I just think it's still the male-female dynamic. I am still, as much as I'm an independent woman, you still like to be that damsel in distress every once in a while.
That's power.
No, that's not power.
If you can pull a damsel in distress card when you need to,
right,
that's power.
Lacey. It's not
Lacey,
power.
that's power.
No, it's not. It is not power. It's just, I feel like it is still, we are still, those of us who have been kind of forced to be super independent. It is nice when a guy can come in and kind of do more of the male types of things. And I don't think, like I said, it's stuff that if I
like find stuff you can't find.
Right. And I find stuff for you too. What is your dog doing? I see that guy crying now with a bottle. Remember in middle school, stay. No, yeah. He is fine. He is fine. Yes. He's fine. He is either married or engaged or whatever, because we're still cool. We just don't talk, but social media friends and whatever. No, he is fine. Do not do that. I have done nothing to.
He had a lot of counseling sessions.
They're not going to tell on themselves. Stuff just happened.
He spent a lot of money on therapy.
No, I mean, I think we both learn from that. I really do. And like I said, we're still cool. We don't talk, but it's not because of, anyway, y'all ain't gonna have, like I said, I'm gonna be transparent. Y'all can judge me if you want to, but it was nothing that I did intentional. And I did not feel like, hey, Tampa, how are you? I did not feel like I had any power. I was not trying to, use my feminine wiles. Because again, I've shared with y'all, I was not this person who was like super confident in my looks when I was younger. I was very awkward when it came to guys and dating and that kind of stuff. I was relatively shy. I was a late bloomer. Stop it, Sheed. He is fine. He is fine. But it was nothing, so again, I like the opportunity to have a guy friend and just feel like it's cool to hang out with this guy, to watch sports, eat wings, laugh, joke, clown, get some good information and advice from. I like being in men's company because I'm a people watcher anyway. That's why I like watching documentaries and reality shows and lockup, because I just like seeing how people work and how their minds work. You can stop shaking your head at any time. And so being around men gives me a different outlook because I'm not a man. So it's like to be able to be around men and be in their company and kind of see how they think and how they tick. I just enjoy it. Never mind.
Every man on here, even most of you women on here, know that there's some guy that liked you or some guy that you knew liked some girl. And all he did was act like a little dog, and whatever she wanted him to do, he did. Knowing he had, knowing that he had no chance with her and that she was just leading him on. And you can't tell me that the females that were doing that, even some of you may be doing it now.
It was one person. Is that what I did with you? Shoot.
I'm here.
Let's go back to when we were just friends.
And a ring
wouldn't
on it.
do
So
nothing
what are you
for me.
talking about?
No, but when we was just friends, let's go to the rum incident. This is something, the rum. Don't act like you don't know the thing. So he definitely wasn't that friend that was just going to do whatever you wanted him to do. So this is Thanksgiving, and I'm making rum cake. And this dude was talking about he was going to stop by my house and eat some food on Thanksgiving. I went to the grocery store, did everything I needed to do. I get home and start cooking and realize I done forgot the rum for the rum cake. So I called this dude and asked him, hey, you're out and about. Can you stop and get me some rum? He was like, no, I'm out with my son. I'm getting ready to take him to do such and such, whatever. So he wasn't that guy. And he keeps saying till this day, I don't remember telling you I couldn't get the rum. I used to have only guy friends. I didn't trust females. See, and that's another show in and of itself. I might have to do that one because I owe y'all a narcissism show, and now we'll have to do about the female friendships because I know a lot of women who say that. You said they all trying to smash. That's what I think. And I don't think it's about us leading them on. I think they more so lead us on. I think that they try to gain our trust, gain our friendship so that what they're looking for is the end result is eventually wanting to bed us.
Smash.
Smash, right? What is on my face? Is it a piece of hair? I think I just got it. Yeah, it was a piece of loose hair. Not that y'all care. But yeah, I think that it's men because...
So boys' heartstrings.
No, I think it's men. I think that they see us and it's like, okay, you just want us to be friends. Because I know a lot too that...
It's not how a guy's mind doesn't work.
Okay,
like
so y'all just want to be friends with us the same way we just want to be friends with you.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you're having a guy do something for you over and over, it's one thing. It's something to do something one time, maybe even 2 times. Mm-hmm. But when it becomes reoccurring, a guy's mind is like, oh, this is more than what it is.
So why with men though is the
man, but that's how yeah.
No, because I get it. It's not always, but you know, hey Tim, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, friend. But my thing is, why with men is their scope of payment always have to result in sex? Like, okay, you done had me do this, and this, so now you owe me sex.
No,
I changed your oil, changed your tire, and took your trash out. Okay, that's 3 things. So now you owe me
that's a nice
sex.
way to pay the tab, but it's not always about that.
Oh my gosh, why is there a tab?
It's about they're looking for the relationship.
Hey, Nikki.
Yeah, it's the relationship they're looking for.
No, okay, so we have the relationship.
So
we're friends.
It's not about going, sex is about the relationship.
So we have the relationship. We're friends. So I don't understand how you're measuring it out. Well, I've done things for you over and over again. So do you want me to put you on payroll? I doubt it. No, you want sex.
Well, once again, that's cool to pay the tab. But a relationship, and I'm doing that means we're building something. It's not just going to be about me doing from you.
We're building a friendship. No, it can go both ways. Like when I had that particular guy friend, it's not like I never did anything for him. It's not like he could never come over my house and get something to eat. It's not like, I wouldn't help with, things that he needed help with. That's not the case.
That's not how a guy's mind is wired.
So that's what I mean. Y'all, the only way y'all see payment is sex.
No, a relationship.
Thank you, Nikki.
Once again, there is nothing wrong.
Sex.
There is nothing wrong with that's what that is. But that's not the way it works. A relationship, that means you with me, I'm with you. That means we doing stuff together, not just doing it together. We doing stuff together.
Okay, but as friends, we're doing stuff together. We're watching the baseball game. We're going to the movies.
Well, if I want some sugar, I want some sugar.
Then go to the store.
Well, now.
That's what I'm saying. Why you want some sugar just because you changed my tire and we went to the movies? Do you like poetry? I used to write. I could give Wallace pointers. Yeah, Wallace needs some pointers. Men built through sex. Yes. And I think that's what helped. Yeah, I do. Women built through love and trust. Yeah, we want the relationships.
If you invite me over to change the brakes on your car.
You hear Tim said you about to be in the doghouse. That's right. You warned him, Tim. So if he keep going, he can't say you ain't telling.
You got me over here change the brakes on your car, change the transmission fluid and stuff. And all I'm gonna get is a pat on the back. You could have got that up there at the transmission.
But what I'm saying is, if you come over and you're eating my food and I'm helping you pick out outfits,
change the transmission is more than a plate of food.
Every dude who's a friend ain't changing transmission. Lisa J said, I have recently cut some male friends because I found out their true intentions. I still have some real male friends around whose true intentions are just friendship. Yeah.
They can be that way.
For me, honestly, I can be friends only if I'm not attracted to him. Yeah. And that's what I mean. I just think that it's easier for women because I think when we friend somebody and we look at them as a brother or a cousin, whatever you want to say, that's where they are. But for men, I think it's always a possibility for y'all. Like, okay, but at any time we can switch this to something different. And I also believe that y'all keep track and you feel like if I've done this, and this, then you owe me with some.
Generally, it's more than this and this. It's
okay,
this,
so what's the
this.
amount of things that you can do for a woman before she owe you some cooking?
It depends on the value of the things.
Like how much could a good pork chop dinner pay for? Like, can I get an oil change for a pork chop sandwich?
Can't be a hot day. It's gotta be there about 70, 80 degrees. Yeah,
Can you take my trash out
now,
for a piece of cheesecake?
If it's 100-degree day, no, that's not gonna get it right there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. I think for women, that's not ever the payment we're looking for. First of all, in friendship, it doesn't have to be right, a good pork chop. It doesn't have to be all that, but men are always keeping tabs. Men are keeping tabs because they know at some point, like, okay, it's time for her to pay up. Let me see.
So me and I
we live in Texas. It's always a hot day, right? It's always a hot day, which means you always got to put out. So don't have them do nothing outside.
So that means that this, the kind of like this.
That's a shame. That's a shame. And the thing is, and that's where I think the problem is. So do you think that most men and women friendships, what do you think causes them not to be friends anymore? Do you think it's the normal phase out of friendships where you just grow apart, or maybe you're not friends? Or do you think it's because the man was expecting something more out of the friendship? Competition.
I think it could be someone thinking more out of the relationship than what it is.
And do you think it's normally the man or normally the woman?
I think in some instances, I think it can go both. It depends on the setup. It depends on, like I said, it depends on what's happening. If you invite me over every day, you invite me over every day, you're cooking, we hanging out, we're doing different stuff like that, then that's going to be me feeling that way, because now why are you keep inviting me over instead of, hey, just call and talk to me on the phone? So it's just certain steps that can happen. So you have
to be very careful when you're friends with a man, because y'all just
it possibly could be led
everything leads y'all on.
No, not everything, but if we're doing that, that's why I say it depends on what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we're just of course I'm thinking like, okay, why does she keep wanting me to come over? Well, she must want me to come over. You know what I'm saying?
No, maybe I just enjoy your company.
But why? Okay,
but I gotta pay for your company with booty.
Hey, once again, that's a good way to down the bill, but that's not what I'm saying.
Oh my God! But why is there a bill?
There's not. You keep inviting me over,
because I enjoy your company. You make me laugh. We're cool.
These jokes ain't free, but no.
Oh my gosh, y'all!
But no,
look what I'm dealing with.
If we're spending time together, then we're building a relationship. That means this is going somewhere instead of us just being hangout buddies. If it's somebody you just call me like on a Friday and say, "Hey, what you doing tonight? I ain't got nothing going on. You want to go? You want to go to the go up to Rio's and have a drink?" Yeah, cool. That's one thing.
Women enjoy a man's company. A man enjoys a woman's company sexually. Yeah, I agree. OCD is just like iPhone versus Android, different operating systems. I like that. Wallace, the jokes ain't free. Right. And that's the thing. Wallace and I were just friends for like a year before we got together. Now, one thing I can tell you is he did make his intentions known in the very beginning. He did. But I told him that I was not looking for a relationship, but his response to me was he was fine with that, but he still wanted, she said, and another thing, he was fine with that, but he still wanted to have me in his life no matter what. And he was willing to just accept that friendship. And as time has gone on, I'm like, no, he wasn't willing to accept that friendship. He was waiting for the final result is what he got. What you got for us, Sheed?
As far as the women, I need the women to have a 1 or maybe 2 tasks minimum. Every day I'm coming over doing stuff. That's boyfriend status. I done told women. Like this one young lady, we were cool friends since elementary. I never tried her. She never tried me. She was a cute looking girl, but my thing was I wanted to be a friend. But she would always be like, let's go hang out. Cool, I hang out sometime. I'm like, man, I'm just going to go kick it with the fellas. I want to come hang with y'all too. I'm like, so she started coming around more like girlfriend status. And everybody like, what you got going on with old girl? No, we friends. But why are y'all always hanging around each other? So it's like when it comes to that point, people are seeing like the level of communication you and the person has. It happens a lot without happening. Like it goes without saying sometimes, like, dang, y'all always hanging around each other. It's
Yeah.
like best friends. Like when dudes best friends, they but when a woman and a man's doing that, opposite sex, they like y'all more than friends. You can say, nah, we never tried, we never worked, we never dated. But the point of it is, like I say, from the man's side, he's gonna be doing a lot more, and he's gonna be like, well, I might as well be the boyfriend.
Yeah.
So that's just telling women that you just need to be careful.
Well, that sounds like y'all just looking for some free labor.
No, it's not just a free labor. Like I said, I enjoy men's company. Like I enjoy sports. I liked watching sports with guys because they could explain stuff. Like I like the competition of sports. I knew the basics, but it was hanging with guys where I learned all the rules and the stats and the different stuff. I just enjoyed that. I didn't have a lot of friends who were into that same kind of stuff. You know, the kind of stuff I liked. I was into the mafia movies and stuff. I was into, you know, Lockup, all that kind of stuff. A lot of my girlfriends like, I can't watch that stuff. That's crazy. And so I just seemed to have a lot in common with guys, and I would have fun, and it was easy and it was relaxed. It was not just to, hey, come and take my trash out. But since you over here watching The Sopranos on your way out, can you grab that trash?
See, that's work.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And I did filter with certain things. Like if we're rolling together or whatever, and I need gas and I'm driving, you should put the gas in my car. You don't have to pay for it. But I just feel like as a man, why would you want me getting out there dealing with that nasty gas nozzle and all that when you sitting right here?
Well, most times we roll together, I'm driving. It's probably my car we're driving in.
I'm just saying if, you just never know. I mean, there was a time or two when we were in my car. And that's the thing too, even if we were in my car, if you drove.
Oh, but you paying for the gas, all right?
Yeah, I paid for the gas.
So you're looking for some labor.
Oh my gosh. I do believe in the male role and the female role.
What did you say, she?
It's like all the boyfriend status without the boyfriend privilege.
Yeah.
You know?
But doesn't that go both ways? Because you're also getting that female companionship, like I said, and y'all love to come to our house and see what we got for dinner and, you know, different stuff
so
like
much
that.
Around food?
Because that's what men want. It's sex and then food.
So I drop a transmission, and the only thing I get out of it is a hot plate. One plate. And I maybe get one tomorrow.
Oh my God.
I take out the trash. I get a Capri Sun. I get a Capri Sun. I get a Capri Sun for taking out the trash.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's not like cooking the food is easy or it's free. That's labor too.
She ain't never dropped a transmission. She don't know about that labor like that.
And then this the crazy part too. It's like with my wife. She knew she got a winner. One time I had she was getting off late because they changed her shift. And so I fooled around. And this was like during the dating phase. I had cooked, you know. Oh, she wouldn't let me go then. He's like, and then she tried to hit me with the casual. You like, I thought we were friends. You never really committed to me. And we never really like officially got dating and stuff like that. I just looked at him and was like, okay. Oh, so we not together? All right, cool. I ain't coming over tomorrow. What's this? What you mean? I'm like, but we casual friends, right? We not really dating. I'm like, I don't be cooking and all this for women out here.
Well, Nikki said for dropping the transmission, you can get 5 plates. That's fair. That's fair. Because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And Lisa J said, not a plate. What about a pan of food? You can get the whole pan of lasagna.
Hey, I mean, we can start with the pan, but
oh my God.
Yeah, you beat me to
we need a little more than just some food now, you know.
Oh my gosh. And that's what I mean. And that's the difference, because as women, that's not necessarily what we're looking for. Although Cece has said, if I keep inviting you over, I'm probably looking for a little something too. Cece said, you ain't gonna be coming over my house every day.
And that's the thing. A lot of women want the same thing as men, but they want you to be the one to say it, because it's the approach to it. Like, you know, when they say a man find a woman, a man find a good thing, a woman would, like in basketball, she'll throw the alley-oop and wait for the man to catch the ball to dunk it. She'll set it up, always doing stuff, making you come over, fixing your plates. And then after y'all been together and been married for a while, she'll say, it took you long enough. All them hints I put out there, I was waiting on you to come on.
Oh my gosh. Sweet Thumb said if you really friend zone a woman, it hits a nerve. So you don't think women, it's easier to friend zone a guy? So if a man is really hanging around a woman and just puts her in a friend zone, you don't think women take it too easy?
You say what now?
Women don't take kindly to be in friend zone. They have to be the one to initiate the friend zone.
Yeah, y'all the masters of that, putting men in friend zones.
But we don't want to be put in the friend zone.
No.
Oh no, they get in the friend zone. They don't like that. They come in with the expectation. That's why I say a woman will fix a plate, and when you start going around females too much, there's a hint of that female liking you. And I was quick to tell a lot of females, like if I had a girlfriend, I would be quick to tell them, yeah, I got a girlfriend now, or I'm this, because you can tell the unusual behavior or attitude start coming about. Why you always over there with that girl? Why you always this and that? It's like when you get friends, women get friends on, they don't like it. Men, you be like,
Well, I think men might take it easier because they're still looking at that end payout. What happened to Sheed? Is he on the Android?
Well, I think men take it easier somehow because men are a lot more used to doing that because we've been getting friend zoned for most of our lives. The way it kind of rolls out a lot of times, and when that happens, it just kind of happens with us women. It don't really happen to y'all a lot because y'all had that power that I was speaking of that y'all seem to be in denial about, but y'all had that power. So men a lot more used to getting put in.
Is it the power that we have, or is it the power that y'all give us just based on what you expect? Is y'all just think that's what we're doing, and really we're just being ourselves, but y'all decide to take it as we're using some kind of power?
Well, most men are trying to get a woman, and they realize there's certain things they got to do. They're trying to do to please the woman. So that's kind of what happens.
And that's what I mean. You're doing things with the wrong intentions, but it's
not the wrong intent. If the intention is to have if I'm a relationship guy, it's not necessarily. That's why I say it's not necessarily about sex. It's just a relationship. I'm trying to have a relationship. If I'm trying to have a relationship, I'm gonna do things that are going to lead to a relationship. And if you're putting out. If you're giving me vibes that we're going in a relationship status or relationship way, then of course that's what I'm going to be expecting.
Okay, your dog just works that.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing. Sitting there trying to make me be a friend for your expectation to be filled. And that's sometimes I say women do this a lot. They will sit there, have a guy, put him in the friend zone, get all the benefits of boyfriend, going out to eat, pumping the gas, but the independent card get thrown out the book because it's kind of like I said, going back to it, having all the benefits of a boyfriend for you, and he don't have no benefits, even fixing the plate.
Our company doesn't mean anything.
Company.
Yeah, our company, our conversations, the advice that we give. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. So we don't have anything to offer a man outside of sex.
You can tell me advice over the phone. We can talk over the phone. Like being around you all the time, that's like sort of like a relationship status as far as, I don't know about men, but with me, my thing is friends are just friends. When I see you, I say hey to you. That's it. I don't need to be going dating and hanging out with my friends. If it's a group of us, then okay. But just me and you, I don't know.
Come on, bro. You said something there, She. That's exactly what it is, man.
Oh my gosh.
If it's a group of us, hey, there's no problem. But why every time I turn around, me and you are the only one going out to this movie when we got countless of other female friends and male friends that we all can go hang out with?
CC said dogs are man's best friends, so that's why y'all don't want to be best friends with us women. Y'all dogs are man's best friends.
But no, you got me coming over here hanging ceiling fans and mini blinds and building furniture and stuff like that. No, that's relationship. But
what I'm saying is, we would also be willing to do the same sort of thing.
Only thing you're doing is fixing the plate.
No, but we can do more than that.
I'm doing the labor.
How much advice did I give you? How much wisdom did I give you when we were friends? How much guidance did I give you?
Oh,
I
my
gave
God.
you fashion advice. I gave you relationship advice. I used to help you with your sermons.
Oh,
how much advice?
man.
I mean, I really helped you. And I thought that it was invaluable.
We were moving toward a relationship at that point,
But
too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
A man's time is valuable to him. If he's spending time with you, then he wants something back that's valuable to us. See, and I just don't think that's fair. How much did Wallace retain? Evidently not much.
Oh.
Evidently not much. So, but what makes their time more valuable than our time? And I guess that's what I'm saying. When we're in these friendships, we're spending just as much time with you as you're spending with us. Regardless, we have to know in our manly souls that it's all going to be our fault. That's not what I'm saying, sweet love. That's not what I'm saying. Our time is valuable.
They already leading into with ulterior motive going into it. They know, and they say, I'm gonna make it feel this way, but I'm not moving any further. He's gonna be thinking it, but I'm not gonna be thinking that.
Yeah, they're gonna want the man to commit first before they say anything. So it always can be your fault. See, you wanted the relationship. You know, you wanted to do.
Was I not honest with you up front that I did not want to be in a relationship, that I didn't feel like, and you kept coming around.
No.
and how many years? Hold on now. You said you didn't want to be in a relationship, and how many years have y'all been married?
I know, right? But I'm saying, when we first were together, so here's the story, just a short part of the story. We had became friends and we were hanging out, talking and all that stuff. But at the same time, I had decided to move back to the East Coast because, I had gone through my divorce. It had been a couple of years and all of my boys were like in transition years in school. So I thought it was a perfect time to move back because like one was going into high school, one going into middle school. I'm like, this is a perfect time for me to move back to the East Coast. So I had already made arrangements to move back. I had already gotten my old job back and I let my friend Wallace know that I was moving back. He had already caught feelings. So what he said to me was, I know you really didn't want to be in a relationship, but I really see a future with us. So if you can just give me 6 months, if we don't go any further, then I will pay everything for you to move. I'll do whatever I got to do, but I just need you to give me 6 months. And so I gave him that 6 months. And then here we are 12 years later. But I was leaving.
She's leaving out.
Hey, J3.
What's up, J3? She's leaving out a few details in that sheet and
he
chat.
wore me
family.
down, CC.
She's leaving out a few details in that. She said that in the very beginning, and actually, I was kind of just dating around at the time because we really were to start out just as friends. And I didn't approach her at that particular time that I was interested necessarily in her, but that's what she told me. She said, well, I'm not really interested in a relationship or nothing like that. So it is what it is. But short time, a few months later, why you didn't call me today? Huh? Why? I thought you would have called me by now. Huh? I thought you weren't looking for a relationship.
I wasn't, but
she left that detail out.
What else were two different stories?
No, that's the same story.
Whatever. Wallace had the Jason game, run all you want. He's still right behind you.
Yes.
Hey, that was the split between the boy friend. He was the dude that was the friend, and you just put it together. Like I told you, it's like we're cool. I say hey to you, but then when I don't get that good night call or that happy morning call, where have you been? Oh, right, you've been running around with all these women, and you can't fulfill my needs of being wanted.
No,
holding my pearls.
We had been dealing with some stuff like with some mutual friends. We was like in some messy stuff, being petty and gossipy with people that we knew. And I knew that he was going to be with these people earlier in the day. So I was expecting him to call me and give me the scoop on what was going on. And then here it comes to be 9, 10 o'clock and he never called me.
No, she trying to save face right there. We call that Sunday, Black Sun Sunday. In our relationship, because that's the moment I knew where she was actually feeling me. So it ain't got nothing to do with me.
But he always called me. I rarely ever called him. He always called me. But you know that you was going, and I was like, yeah, we was going to continue this relationship. Not relationship, conversation. You was going to tell me who you
see. You telling on yourself.
That was a slip.
She trying to save face in front of CC and everybody. Yeah. Her and Nikki and all them. Yeah, we know the deal.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, my cheeks are hurting. Y'all got me
there?
cracking up. I just feel like women are mentally prepared to just be friends with men without having all these friends with benefits. And I just don't think that men are really down for that at all.
I used to be, like you were saying that you had more male friends. I was the same way. Like I had probably a group of guys, mainly my guys who I wrestle with, and that's pretty much it. A couple of football guys I dealt with in high school, and after graduation, most of my guys who I wrestled with were still cool. All the other guys never really talked to them. A lot of females. My wife literally, when she got with me, and females used to call me, ask me questions and stuff, and they respectfully, when they found out I was in a relationship, they stepped back. And it was probably one or two that was started to get cool with my wife, because they was like, I still need the lowdown. I don't want to be out here in these streets alone, but that was the thing. It was always a point of females wanting that friendship, and it was always on a cool thing. Like we knew the status of being friends, but I would let them know, you get to a point, you're breaking the crest of being a friend. You going in the boyfriend zone. And I let them know, hey, that's, if I'm over here picking you up at 2:00 in the morning because you lost the keys or you too drunk to drive, what are we doing here?
No, that's moving. That's moving beyond.
A friend. But look, I want to move into the other part of it, because you mentioned your wife and how she became cool with your friends. So what do y'all think about because most of what we've been talking about is when we were single and just having friends of the opposite sex. But once you become married or you're in a serious committed relationship, do you feel like you should be able to still have those friends? Do you feel like you should still be able to make new friends of the opposite sex? Like, what do you think about that? Is it okay? Or do you need to just cut your friends off? Like, look, I'm married now. I can't keep being friends. Like, what does that look like? Because I know a lot of people struggle with that, especially when you get married when you're older, because you've had these friends for a long time and now you're married. So what's that look like? What you think about it?
What it look like, she?
All right, so when it comes down to it, certain, degree, you should still have friends. Like, I'm not going to just cut nobody totally off, because, hey, I might not even stay in this relationship long. But, to the point of having my wife understand that, hey, we're friends and we've been friends for a long time. Not discounting the relationship me and you have, but the point of it is, I can't just, cut somebody cold turkey. I'm a mutual friend with this person. Understand that, they're gonna cut back on the calls, but it just every so often to see how a person is doing. Because you gotta understand, if you've been knowing somebody since elementary, it's kind of hard to say, don't ever call me again because I'm married.
Right.
So it's boundaries that you have.
I don't know what that means, J3. So once you got married, y'all just got new friends. Is that what you mean? And Alicia J said, no new friends. The existing friends just set different boundaries. And that's how I feel. When I first married Wallace, I had a lot of guy friends. And I have to say that at this point, I really don't have any guy friends that aren't like our mutual friends that we kind of met together, who are still, more his friends. But what happened was I had a couple of them that just, I cut them off immediately. But my biggest thing was they needed to know Wallace, and Wallace needed to know who they were. And that had to work. But then there were a couple who seemed like they really didn't even have any interest in meeting Wallace or getting to know Wallace. So it's like, if you don't want to meet my husband or get to know him, then we can't be friends. And so my male friends now, like, our only communication would be like social media. If we're, if they're on Facebook or whatever, we might say happy birthday, but I no longer have a desire to call them for any advice. I got somebody to drop my transmission and take out my trash, so I don't need that. But I just didn't want there to be any muddy waters. I never wanted him to feel any kind of way. And I think a difference for Wallace and I too were that all of my male friends were from the East Coast. And so he didn't even really have an opportunity to know them or get to know them. And so I didn't want what would appear to be these strange guys calling me all the time, or, so I didn't drop my friends where I don't speak to them at all, but we're just very casual acquaintances. I can go years and not speak to them. And like I said, if it pops up on Facebook and it's their birthday, I'll say happy birthday. But as far as new friends, for me, that's definitely off limits. The only new friends that I have that are men are our friends together.
I kind of phased out a lot of relationships and friends and stuff like that because I didn't want her feeling any kind of way about it. So I just wanted her trust and her loyalty to me was more important than a lot of that. So I just phased a lot of stuff out, and some of my friends are still around. But for the ones I was talking to on a regular basis or something like that, I kind of just phased it out because, like I said, I didn't want her feeling some kind of way about that.
Okay, Cece says, should your friends be able to call or text you all times of the night when you're in a committed relationship? You mean your guy friends? Like, absolutely not for your guy friends to me, because I think, and what kind of happened to me before in a relationship with my guy friends is not when I was married to Wallace, but people will also try to kind of test you just to see how serious you are in your relationship. Like they'll intentionally start trying to call you and text you all times a night just to see if you're going to respond. And that's the way they can kind of test to see how strong your bond is with your relationship, in my opinion. And then also for our girlfriends, I feel the same, that when somebody's in a relationship, unless there's an emergency, you need to respect that relationship. Like my girlfriends, we talk, they can call me anytime, day or night, but they respect things. Like if they hear Wallace in the background, or if we've been talking for a while, they're like, oh, okay, I see Wallace is home, or let me let you get to your husband. It's just having that, just that respect for each other in their relationships. What did J3 say? We got new friends. We married and left the USA. Yeah. And that's the thing. We've gotten a lot of friends since we've been married, which is awesome. Need somebody to watch your back. As for the friends, everybody go night night.
Yeah, everybody need to go to bed.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's just about, creating those boundaries. And I can't say what's right or wrong. It's going to be different for every couple, but it was just better for me to no longer entertain those male friendships. Like I said, because Wallace didn't even have the opportunity to get to know them. They're across the country, and it just wasn't that important. Not that I don't value those relationships, not that I still don't care about any of those people. I wish them all the best. And if they ever really needed me, I'm still here, and I feel like it would be the same. But as far as just maintaining that friendship the way I used to, I didn't see a desire to do that. And there's nothing he really pushed hard for. I mean, he just was like, he let me handle that because I was honest with him. He knew I had male friends and he knew who they were. And he met a couple of them, but he didn't push hard for me to do anything one way or the other. I just felt like it was best.
I knew which ones had ill intentions, though.
Yeah, he did kind of pick up on some people that he felt like had ill intentions and whatever. And, and I didn't argue with him. I didn't always necessarily even agree with him. But my thing is, it's definitely not worth an argument. If you feel like this guy has ulterior motives, if you feel like they feel in some kind of way because I'm married or whatever, I just, went with what he said. I'm not going to argue and be like, oh, he's not like that. He's never said anything. He's never done anything. If it made him feel uncomfortable, then it was a done deal. And I think you appreciated that.
I did.
Yeah. Because my male friends were really important to me. But nobody more important than him. So it was just like, and it was, I guess I can't even say it was tough. It was a change for me, but I wasn't sad. Let me see. Stay. Were there any of Wallace's female friends that you didn't trust? Now that's the difference. That's a tough one, Cece, because Wallace didn't have a lot of female friends when we married. It was like just a couple, but this is a difficult one.
I was so into my work
No.
And what other stuff I had going on at the time.
No.
So it's mainly my assistant. That was probably the biggest female
right, and
influence.
she's cool.
And she's still around today.
Yeah,
but
no, I'm getting ready to tell the truth. He's trying to cut me off because he know what I'm gonna say. First of all, we live in the city where Wallace was born and raised, went to school practically, college, everything. Wallace has been here forever. Wallace also was in ministry and a pastor here. So for those of y'all who know how that goes down, when women love men with titles and what they perceive to be as power and things like that. And so that was a whole different ball game for us. Wallace didn't have a lot of female friends, but it was either people around here who he had previously dated or women who were just after him because he was a pastor or whatever. And so those were the kind of things that I had to deal with. Just people just trying to be messy and trying to show him all kinds of extra attention, especially once they realized I was in the picture. But I have to give it to him. He handled that very well as well. I mean, there were a lot of people who straight up just said, don't call me no more, because he's like, I'm in a relationship now. And people who were just calling him just to be calling him. There were people who were, saying, well, you didn't even give me a chance. And, I could have been your first lady and all this kind of stuff. So I dealt with a lot with Wallace and women and being here. No, not in that way. What I'm saying, it was definitely the women. My husband handled it fabulously. And he made that whole journey for me as easy as possible because him being in the church that way and being a pastor and being a minister, it was a whole different ball game. And so, he really handled that well.
I was very friendly.
And the thing was, he's a friendly person. He's an outgoing person, but never, my biggest thing was I always trusted him. And so that was always going to be my thing. Those women didn't owe me anything, but he did. And so he's who I paid attention to and the way he moved and the conversations. I mean, he's had conversations with some of those women right in front of my face, and he never, ignored a phone call, nothing like that. If somebody called and I'm sitting there, he answers the phone, and the way he handled it always made me feel comfortable. And it took, I guess, about a year or so until everybody finally just, threw in the towel and decided to leave us alone. But so my situation was really crazy. Some of these guys' energy is just wrong. Yeah. And I agree. And that's what I mean. When he picked up on that energy, I didn't argue with him at all. Don't want them choked out and then keep away. Right. Exactly. Yeah, Wallace is a good guy. He is. I joke a lot, but he made me feel very secure. And so I didn't have to worry about it. It was like, it was a little odd because that was one of my, that was a little bit of the apprehension that I had about dating him in the beginning. So first of all, I just wasn't ready for a relationship. I didn't know what I wanted to do as far as that. You know how it is when you go through a divorce. I had been a single mom, so I just wasn't sure. So me not wanting to date, just to let y'all know, had nothing to do with Wallace as a person. I was wanting Wallace to be in a relationship, even was offering to introduce him to some wonderful women that I knew because I knew what a great guy he was. I just didn't know if I was ready. And so it had nothing to do with him. But the part that did have to do with him was him being in ministry or whatever. And me just growing up in that world and knowing how that was. One of the things I always said is I will never date a preacher. I will never marry a preacher. And because a lot comes with that territory. And so that was the only real strike against Wallace. But again, he guaranteed me from the beginning that he knew how to handle it. And he was a man of his word. It wasn't always easy. Some people were persistent, but one thing, I never had an issue with him. And that's what was most important. He made sure to the best of his ability that I was always respected. And if somebody did disrespect me, he got with them. He never made me feel bad for how I felt or how I behaved or how I dealt with somebody. And so that's important, when you're in a relationship, to have each other's back, because the only person who owes you anything is your spouse. The other people, they just doing what they do, but he handled that awesome. It was tough, but we worked through it together. But some of these women out here, I don't know what it is about that preacher stuff, But I'm telling you, and it is not for the faint of heart. I don't know if they think every preacher come with $1 billion. I don't know what it is, but I just think that, a lot of people just like power and titles. And, he was a pastor and a VP at the bank. And it was just, and he was a good catch. But it's like, but my thing about it too was funny, but do you even really know him? And that's the thing. Like, you don't know him. You just, no, you're great. But I'm saying these people didn't have relationships like they know you. And I'm just in love with Wallace. They were just in love with what Wallace represented. So, yeah.
Yeah. But as far as relationships and having friends of opposite sex when you're in a committed relationship, you want to try and always do what's going to make your partner the most comfortable, because at the end of the day, that's really who's most important to you. And, it can happen, there can be some give and take on it as far as relationships goes, but you can't be blinded by, oh, this is somebody I've been knowing forever. But you see there's something's making your wife uncomfortable or making making things kind of weird with it. That needs to be happening in a conversation. And that goes along with some of the work that she was kind of talking about earlier. That goes along with some of that work and having those conversations about that. So you can be open and honest and say why this is what it is. Mm-hmm. And like I said, at the end of the day, she's more important. So guess what? Everything's going to be leaned toward making sure she's as comfortable as she can be.
Yeah.
Because I don't need her feeling like she can't trust me. So, or trust what I have going on. So I better, I feel like it's best for me and our relationship to move that to the side, because this trust here is the most important thing.
Yeah. And it was always the people, let me see. Yes, until you keep picking up the drawers off the floor.
What are you talking about, Sissy?
What drawers off the floor? A good catch. Yes.
Yeah, we're moving to J3's comment. Yes, J3. I have no idea what Sissy talking about.
The floor. But like there were women who straight up just didn't speak to me. Oh, I'm glad Chris didn't speak to me, but they would speak to him or whatever. And that kind of stuff never bothered me. I never wanted him to address that. And that's the kind of conversations we had too. Like, I don't care if people speak to me or don't speak to me. And he was the pastor. If they want to speak to him, they can speak to him. But it came up to like people who would try to have meetings with him. He never met with a woman in person without me. And 9 times out of 10, he would refer them to me first and then let me decide whether or not he even needed to be brought in. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of just that respect that he had and not letting people try to weasel their way into something. It's like, and that was nothing that he ever felt like was a hard thing to do. It's like, of course, I'm not going to be meeting with women, and it's not even a good thing to do if you're a single man and you're in certain positions. But he would tell, women, look, I trust my wife. My wife is very intelligent, very knowledgeable. She knows the word. I'm sure she can help you. So sit and talk with her first, and then she can decide if you need to bring me in. So it was all those things that he did and put into place. And even, when standing before the church and letting people know that I was his wife, I was his priority, and that he was going to protect me and he wasn't going to let me be the bullied first lady. So it's about just having that open, honest communication so that you can have that trust between each other. And then however you want to navigate those friendships outside, then you just do. But his only true female friend is his past assistant, which, I think she is awesome. We're cool. I have no problems. They talk on the phone from time to time and, it's not an issue, but she's married as well. We've done things together as couples. They've been to the house. And so it just depends, all relationships are different, but he doesn't have any single female friends. But again, Wallace is also a nurturer and a counselor at heart. So there's, women who have worked for him that have, called him for advice, but it's always just open. Like there's no hiding the phones. We both have our passwords to each other's phones. He shares conversations with me. And I also can't keep him from his calling. That's what he does. He is a minister at heart. He is a counselor at heart. He is a nurturer. He's a motivator. And I don't want to keep other people from being able to experience what he has to offer by me being jealous or anything. So I mean, there's people, he's married people that have worked for him. That's how much they respect him and they want him to officiate their marriage ceremonies or, you know, the christening for their children. And so I just have to be confident, and then I have to be able to trust him. And he had to prove himself to be trustworthy because, you know, just in what he does, there's going to be women involved. But as far as friends, he doesn't really have any female friends, just one really, I guess, which would be your past assistant. And she's awesome. Mm-hmm. So that's how we work that out. I trust the dude. He's good. You know, and he know I'm crazy.
Snapped for real.
he likes breathing. So,
yeah,
you know, tell him about that day we was going in the church and you handed me your wallet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got invited to go speak at the church, and I had these pants on. I had my wallet in my front pocket, and the wallet just wasn't sitting right in my pocket for some reason. So I took it out and I gave it to her, and I told her, "Hey, you know, I'm getting hold my wallet for me, but if you see any numbers in there or something, you know, just don't pay no attention to that." And then her coming back without even blinking or taking a breath, I'll tear this whole church up.
Like it's as simple as that. Like, don't play with me. And he knows that it's the truth. Yeah, I will tear this whole place up. You talk about if you happen to find a number or see something in my wallet, just go ahead and ignore that. I will, get ready to call 911.
Yeah, I didn't even ask for the wallet back. I think I got it back later the next day or something.
Yeah. Like, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Yeah, I'm a little, you know, I have come a long way, but there are certain things that tick, tick, boom is still in there. Like, don't play with me. He like, dang, girl, what is wrong with you? You know, I'm just messing with you. That's fine. That's fine. But that's the thing too. And we need to do a show on that kind of stuff as far as that right up for room. We need to do a show on that too, as far as just having that general trust and having yourself in a position where you don't feel like you have to be going through the phone and going through the wallet. Like, life is too short. I don't have time for that. I trust him 100%. And even though I have all his passwords, I have access to everything, I have no desire to be going through this man's stuff all the time. He has no desire to go through my stuff all the time. The reason we have the passwords is just as needed. Like, there are times when I might need something or he might need something, or maybe there's, you know, an issue, but I ain't got time for that. What you say? I'm stupid. I will leave a number that forwarded back to my phone. See,
no, I can't take no chances when she calls. The number won't get called.
Right? Yeah, the number won't get called.
That'll be after the fact in the evidence room when they're going to call the number. Oh, this is calling his phone. See? Yeah.
Who's that lady that gave you her phone number the other day that you ran into and you came and brought it up to my office? But she wasn't giving you the number to try to talk to you, but because she wrote it on that sticky. It was up on my desk the other day. I just threw it away. I think you ran into her at the bank or something and she was asking you about.
Oh, that's lady did the cleaning.
Okay, house cleaning.
Okay,
and so she didn't have any business cards, so she wrote her number on a sticky note. And this dude, as soon as he came in the house, he was like, "Hey, I ran into this lady at the bank because I've been looking for somebody to do some housekeeping for me." And so he's like, "I ran into this lady at the bank. She does housekeeping, and she gave me her number. She didn't have any cards. She wrote it on a sticky note. Here it is." I'm like, "Yeah." So that's the kind of stuff. Is like, you know, we don't want no problems around here. So no, don't leave anything to be questioned. And I never did call her. I don't know why, but I thought about it. I was going through some papers in my office on Sunday and I ran into that sticky note. But yeah, he came straight, and my office is upstairs. So he had been out, came straight in the house and upstairs. Hand me that sticky note. Like, he didn't even want to risk sitting it down on the counter or throwing it on his dresser. He's like, "Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Let me take this right up to her." Let me see. I go through my wife's wallet, but I'm always putting something in.
But why you got to go through? But why you got to go through it? You can't just put something in.
Got to make sure he got to make room. And that's the thing, like, about Wallace too. He is so old school. If he asks me for something and I tell him it's in my purse, he comes to me like a little boy with my purse. "Here, mama, hand me." And I'm like, "Wallace, you can go." He was like, "My mama taught me you don't go.
I got in trouble for that. I got serious butt whooping for that many years ago.
Going in your mama's purse.
Going in my mama's purse, and
didn't
really understand what all the denominations of money was. And I grabbed a 20 when I was trying to grab
for the
couple
ice
dollars
cream.
for a couple ice creams. And then the ice cream man tried to keep the money, and mama went out there and whooped the ice cream man and came back inside and whooped me. So yeah, I don't do that.
Gosh. Oh my gosh. But this has been a fun conversation. Y'all know before we end out, Wallace loves to do the love seat, where we are going to ask some random questions of each other that we don't already, they're not pre-selected. And then y'all can feel free to ask us anything as well. Just any questions about us, about relationship or whatever. And that's how we are going to end the show today. Thank you, Cece. So what's the first question, Wallace?
What's your favorite thing that I wear?
The favorite thing that you wear. I love when you wear your pattern button-down shirts with a sports coat and some jeans and your cowboy boots.
Okay.
I like that look. I like that. Like when you wear the camel hair and what do they call it? Sports coats. Yeah, the sports coats. Yeah, that's my favorite thing. Okay. So what's your favorite thing that I wear?
Any of those high heel black sandals? The black ones or the gold ones?
With the ankle straps.
Yeah, with the ankle straps.
That's it. They have the ankle straps. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So the stilettos.
The shoes I've almost bought you like
in every color.
8 pair of. Yeah.
Yeah. So the ones with the toes out and the thin strap across the toes and the ankle strap. You like that?
Okay. I like that.
Okay.
I like that. I like that. All right, here we go. What do you think attracted me to you? What reverse it? What how can I say it the right way? Yeah, what do you think attracted me to you? There we go.
I think
or attracted you to me. There we go. I'm sorry.
So what attracted me to you?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Oh.
What do you think it was?
Well, it was a couple of things. Like physically, what attracted me to you was the fact that you were a big guy and you were tall. And so it, with me being a tall woman or whatever, how tall are those heels? They're like 4 inches or so. Yeah, 4 inches. They're stilettos. I like wearing high heels. I used to not, because that's what I was going to say. I'm a tall woman. I'm about 5'8". And so the fact that, you were a big guy, you were tall and, broad, I like that physically because you just seem safe. You seem like, like I wouldn't be looking like an Amazon with you. So I just like that. The fact that I could hug you and be down here and not have to pat you on your head. So I like that. And then what attracted me to you personality wise is the fact that you just were kind. You just seemed to be a nice person, easy to talk to.
No. It's what attracted me to
you've asked the question both.
Yeah, both ways. The first way, the original way.
So what do I think attracted you to me?
Yeah.
I think what attracted you to me is the fact that I was just different. I think I just kind of stood out, especially since I wasn't around here. I think I just kind of caught your eye the way I carried myself or whatever. Yeah. It was just kind of like, she's different. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate. Sounds good.
So what do you think? Well, I just told you what attracted me to you. So now you can't answer the question. But what did you think attracted me to you?
My mystery.
What mystery?
I think my mystery.
He had no mystery.
That made you tingle your girlish ways in ways you just never realized. I think that's what did it. My mystery.
He had no mystery and I had no girlish ways. I have no idea.
It brought back girlish ways.
I have no idea. Yeah, my hands are my most attractive
and your hands.
Feature. My hands are my most attractive feature. But yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Do you have another question, Mystery Man?
Yeah. What's the best compliment that I've ever given you?
The best compliment you have ever given me, I guess, is not just like a straight up compliment, but what I feel like is a compliment is the fact of how you entrust me with our business.
Okay.
And whenever you tell me what a great job I'm doing with my business, and like today, when I hit you with that great news about the business move I made, and you're like, do your thing, girl, do your thing. Like, I love that. That is a huge compliment because that's major. And especially now, with you being with me full time, so much rides on our business and you feeling like, yeah, you got it. And like, even when you came in today and said, let me know if you need me to help you with this, or I'm here to do this. Do you mind if I help you? It's like, I love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it was, it is that you trust me and I make you feel safe.
That's the biggest compliment.
That's the biggest compliment you're giving me. Yes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I was wondering where Niecy was. What's something that y'all don't have in common that y'all love about each other? Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
Okay. I can go first with that one. And I tell him this all the time. I love his ability to just be in the moment and just laugh and just be almost childlike at times. I don't have that. Like, it takes a lot for me to laugh. I love just watching him watch TV, especially if it's something funny, because I don't have that. It takes a lot to get a laugh out of me. And the fact that he can just relax and just watch the silliest thing on TV and he's just smiling, or even when he's listening to a podcast or whatever, I'm always like, my brain is going. I never have that chill mode. And so I just love the fact that he's able to really be in the moment and just enjoy things. And yeah, that's what, and we don't have that in common. Yeah. So what for you is something that we don't have in common that you love about me?
That you're willing to try stuff. Like when we travel, one of the biggest things, like when we travel, Stays real big into exploring foods of that region. Where I try to stay safe and eat the foods that
chicken strips and hamburgers
that I can identify. And like say,
hey, Samantha,
this is straight up. My plate looks like a normal plate when we go out. When we outside the country, her plate looks like a science experiment. Some of the stuff still be kind of moving sometimes on her plate. My plate, straight up pancakes, sausage, eggs, hamburgers. So I stick to the normal stuff. My baby likes to venture out. And I like that she's willing to try different things like that, where sometimes I would just sample something off her plate or something like that. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Chris said, what kind of music do you like when the lights are down low? We are jazz people. Yeah. Is that for both of us? Jazz people. We are definitely jazz people. And we like a little neo soul as well. We're very eclectic with our music, though. I mean, you can catch us listening to anything from go-go to old school R&B, funk, country. We like country. Oh, we like the blues. But yeah, when we kind of trying to chill and be in those romantical moments, it's jazz. But want to swim with the sharks. I don't think he really wants to swim with the sharks, CC.
I do.
I think he just likes the fact of me saying, no, don't do it. Don't go. I think that's what it really is.
I want to swim with the sharks. So
I don't think he wants to. And look, y'all, I had to call my sister the other night because she lives in Mobile, Alabama. And so they're close to a lot of water. And so my nephew, which I've shared a lot with y'all about, my nephew Donovan, he loves the water and he loves the ocean. And so they decided that they're going to start taking him to the ocean every other weekend and just kind of having a day at the beach. And so they went for the first time this weekend. And then that same night, I'm watching the nightly news, and there have been 2 shark attacks not too far from where they are in South Walton Beach, which we have gone there several times with them. And there was another one here in Galveston. So now I'm like, y'all can't be going to the beach. And they were bull sharks in shallow water, and they can't really explain. I think there were 4 attacks over the last 2 weeks. So yeah, be careful out there, y'all.
Last question.
All right. Thank you, Nikki.
What can I do to support you in achieving your goals?
What can you do to support me in achieving my goals? So right now, an immediate goal that I have is to finish this third book. Okay. Finish this 3rd book. And so what you can do to help me support me in achieving that goal is 2 things. 1, I need another one of those weekends like you took me with the first book, where you just took me away and I just wrote and you took care of everything else. And we didn't leave the room or whatever, except for to eat. And I was able to really concentrate. And then the other thing is just kind of, mentioning it to me sometimes, like, babe, where are you at on the book? Or, hey, babe, you think you might want to write. Like that's my biggest goal right now, is finishing that book. Okay. So what can I do to help you achieve your goals right now, or support you?
Just keep being the loving and supportive partner that you are. Lift me up when you see me feeling down. Give me some words of encouragement.
So my normal coming to your office and saying, what are you doing? Get to work. That's not good.
No.
Okay. So you were okay. I got you. I got that. Yeah. Sharks, crazy. And Fortunately,
and maybe paying me back a little bit more, you know, what we talked about for that, dropping them transmissions and all that.
You know what? And that's the thing, y'all. Maybe that's a different subject, but yeah, sex is big for men, y'all. Like, even though we're married, it's like, no matter what, anything I ask him to do, he's like, well, we can work it out and trade. We can work it out. Why are we going to work it out and trade? All I asked you is, can you put this painting up on the wall in my office? And he was like, yeah, well, what am I going to get for it? Well, you know, we can work it out and trade. I don't know what's wrong with men. I mean, but you know, it's a pretty simple task, because that's what I be saying. You're selling yourself short. That's all you want. Okay. Okay,
no problem,
what else you gonna do? But yeah,
no
men
problems.
are so simple. And so I need to do a show on that too.
Yeah, y'all make us
ladies.
complicated.
Yeah, we make them complicated. We make things a lot different. They are very low maintenance. Feed them and put out. That's all you got to do. Everything else is so simple, so simple. But yeah, I mean, the man is married to me, and that's still all he wants for payment. It's like, okay, dude, what else can you do? I like a new house.
Hey, you know what to do.
He
know what
is
to do to get it.
crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but they are very, very simple. So I appreciate y'all. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, She, wherever you went.
Yeah.
For jumping up on the screen with us. Right. It don't take much for y'all. It don't take much. It don't take much, girl.
Yeah, some of that dancing right there.
Right.
Yeah,
Put on them heels with the ankle straps. Yes, it's a simple task, but putting that picture up is some real work. Whatever. I don't want to hear that at all.
A lot of concentration.
I don't want to hear it at all. But yes, I appreciate you guys. We love each and every one of y'all to bits and pieces. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all know the drill. Always be kind and always love one another, but never forget to live your life. LYFE. Love yourself first explicitly. And we will see y'all next time in the hallway. Good night, y'all.
Living life is gangsta. Hey, hey. 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 Love yourself first, explicitly. You owe it to yourself to move with that energy. Empower your self-esteem. Self-love is king. That's the only way to win. That's how you empower your dreams. Living life is